child changed when a new video game came on the scene a couple of months ago. It's called Fortnite. Her son plays it online with the other boys in his class, and she writes, it has now taken over all their lives. The sporty ones don't want to play sports, they don't want to go out and they play on the road. They're all addicted. Their moods have changed. It becomes a huge battle to try to get them off. Rows every evening in every house. My usual outgoing, happy 10-year-old has turned into a miserable, depressed child because we've taken the Xbox away. We've explained about addiction and told him how worried we are. Well, we have two people here with us this evening. They're not 10, they're older than 10, but they play this game. And Carl, you play this game a lot, is that right?
Yeah, Claire. Probably started playing back in January, and it's ever since, you know, been playing quite a lot. Anytime I get a chance, I'll probably be playing it. So,
will you explain to people how it works, what it is?
Okay, so the best way I describe it is it's the Hunger Games kind of theme to it. So it's a last man standing. There's 100 players, and it's you against 99 other people online, and it rolls out very quickly. So the games last about 25-30 minutes, depending how far you get. And if you're eliminated straight away, you can be thrown into another game again.
Okay, and the aim is, and Andrew beside you here, you play as well, the aim is to kill everybody else?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, if you are knocked out, what happens then?
So you go back into the game lobby.
Yeah.
And then, as simple as that, one button, you're back in.
Okay, do you have to pay to play?
No, that's what I think. It's huge, and it's really kicked off everywhere, because it's a free to download game across all platforms. So it's recently launched on Apple and Android platforms, and it's also PS4, Xbox, and PC.
Be honest now. How long do you spend playing this game in one session?
Oh, anything up to 6 hours.
You're kidding me. You sit there for 6 hours playing it. Do you stop to eat?
Eat before.
You eat before. And you consider yourself as not a gamer? Or
no, I wouldn't be a big gamer now. Like Fortnite and FIFA.
Okay.
I only do games.
What was it then about Fortnite that reeled you in?
It's free.
It's free.
And it's like the first of its kind on a console. So like I was on PC, I think, beforehand, and then moved to console, which was huge.
Okay, well, Dr. David Coleman is here with us tonight, and you have clients who are coming to you who are saying, I'm concerned about this, I'm worried about it. People who have children who are younger than the two lads here who are playing it, they're more representative of the 10-year-old that the mother wrote to us about, right?
That's right, yeah. I mean, they're not coming because of Fortnite, they're coming for other things, but actually, ironically then, we're discussing these other issues, and they say, oh, and by the way, I can't get them off the Xbox or the PlayStation or whatever, and, it's causing huge conflict in lots of houses. Like, people are really, the kids are just getting so into playing it, and they're so distressed when they're asked to stop, that parents are struggling to know, well, can I really take them off it? What'll happen then? I have this huge tantrum, and so they're into negotiation, and 5 more minutes, then 10 more minutes, and because the games, I think they last about 10 to 15 minutes, if to actually play a round of it, if you like, and so that's really reinforcing for the kids, because it's like just one more little go, like get one more squeezed in. Maybe some kids are even trying to play it before school, and they're playing it instead of doing their homework. It's causing nightmares in some households. Not every household, thankfully, but a lot of households.
I mean, I have to admit that I hadn't heard about it until we started to discuss it here on Claire Byrne Live, and then I discovered that so many people are playing it. And Adrian Weckler, you're a tech editor with the Irish Independent. 45 million people around the world playing this game?
I think it's 50 million downloads at this point, and the fact that they've moved from the Xbox and PlayStation 4 onto iOS, onto iPhones and iPads means that it's opened up an entire new audience, if you will. So if you think about this game maybe as this year's Pokemon Go or Minecraft, if you remember, Minecraft is still going strong. Pokemon Go is still relatively going strong, but it was a huge craze for a while, and that's the kind of power that this game has, because it's an extremely well-crafted game.
Well, I mean, what is it like? What does it look like? What does...
So it's basically as described there.
Yeah.
It's essentially...
It's a killing game.
Well, there are actually two versions. There's a paid version that you get for your console, and there's a free version which you can get for your console, your PC, or your phone. The free version is called Battle Royale, and that's essentially you and 99 other people, essentially from around the web. And there's one person left standing. It might take 20 minutes. And the violence is kind of cartoonish. It's all done very well. But if you turn on the television, if you watch a Premier League football game, what you'll see now when footballers score a goal, they're starting to do the celebrations from the characters in the game. I mean, that's the kind of cross-cultural impact that this game is having.
So people like me just wouldn't get that, but people who are sitting in here, our audience tonight, would, because we've got lots of people I was talking to just before we came on air who are playing this. Hand raised at the back, yeah. Chap with the glasses. You can stay in your seat. We'll still hear you. Do you play this game?
I do, yeah. I think it's a great game, kind of socially. You know, it's great for people to sort of unwind. You know, like school's a very like high pressure environment. It's very intense, and I think it's great for people to sort of play with their friends.
So you play it to relax, but how long are you playing it for in one session?
I'd say about 2 hours at a time. Not too long, but...
Okay.
If I may, that is actually a key point. I mean, this is not necessarily characterized as a loner game that you spend, hours by yourself playing. There is a strong co-op or social element, so it does differ from other computer games in that
Someone
respect.
else had their hand raised there. Yep. We'll come down to you here. Yep.
Can I just remark that I know I've been asked the question that is this game actually addictive? I do believe it is addictive, and I think that as it's developed and as the popularity of it has risen, I think I've seen a lot more guys who I may not have been, and I'm only addressing the social aspect of it here, that a lot of the guys that I may not have been acquainted with in first, second or third year of school, I'm now great friends with because of the online service that I've been playing with them on.
Okay, so you've got to know them better through playing them online. Okay, at the end of your row, we've another hand raised. We'll just try and get the microphone over to you there. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to add that really for someone who's not very interested in sports, it's a great way to unwind as well. Because similar to how you'd feel, say, having a win in soccer or rugby, winning in this game is very similar. And I thought that even though I haven't won many times, some of my friends would agree with me that certainly winning in this is just another way, like if you're not winning much in other activities, say rugby or soccer, it's a great way to...
But you're not concerned that it involves shooting people? Even though they're cartoon characters, you're still shooting people?
I would, yes, partly yes, that maybe it isn't the best way to find that and technically killing people, but...
Okay, middle of your row then, yep, raised hand there. No, yourself, yeah.
Me? It definitely, there is killing involved, but there's no blood and violence. It's really cartoon and it's kind of comical, so it doesn't have really a lasting effect on anybody.
Okay, does it not have a lasting effect?
It could do. I mean, so the American Psychological Association have a task force on media violence, and that has gone through all of the research over the last whatever number of years, and so their most recent findings are that violent video games lead to more feelings of aggression, more actual aggressive behavior, and more thoughts about aggression.
Okay.
So, even though it's cartoon violence, it's still violence, and so I think we just need to be wary of it. I mean, as the lads were saying there, you can absolutely use it to relax, and so a small amount of anything is fine. But once it becomes too much, then it becomes a problem.
Well, will you tell all the parents at home how to manage this now, and how to control it, and how to regulate it without causing a big row in the house?
Well, you probably can't do it without causing the row, but I think from a parent's perspective, it's about being willing to withstand that row if it needs to happen. And this is if you feel that it's become problematic. So if it is something that is interrupting your child's life, where they're not actually doing other things that you think are important, so if they're not getting their homework done, if they're not going out actually to other, physically meet friends, if they're not playing sports because they're now indoors doing this all the time, that might be when it becomes a problem. And that's when you just need to say, look, we've got to try to moderate this. We've got to try and find a balance with this. Not wipe it out necessarily entirely, but just at least find some kind of balance. And that's the key for a parent. You've got to, at times, just put your foot down and say, look, this is what I think needs to happen. And then with a bit of luck, that'll be accepted. If not, you do a bit more negotiation, and then ultimately you can pull the plug and pull the wireless connections.
But as far as you're concerned, Adrian, given the numbers of people who are playing this is going to be around for a while.
I think it is going to be around for a while. I mean, from a technology point of view, there are ways to moderate your child's use of smartphones, for example. Whether it's an Android smartphone or an iPhone, both systems have family sharing systems, for example, that allow you to control apps and in-app purchases and the like. But we're back to first principles. We're back to how much screen time your child gets, whether it's a television, whether it's a video game or social media.
Okay, well, thank you both very much for coming in. David and Adrian, thank you.